We are sprinting towards the end of MIC campaign to reinstate to the world that motherhood is a choice. Thanks to the brilliant script of Sara's movie that evolved as an eye-opener and one of the key inspirations for this campaign. Some awareness messages that the movie spread includes that a woman has full rights over motherhood because it's her body. Usually it's the entire family and the second line of relatives who speak or peek into the business of one's life, but this movie so beautifully presented the facts. Another key message it beautifully put forth, like how a jam beautifully smears on bread, is that it's better not to be a parent than be a bad parent. And chiseling into various reality and ugly truth, the movie beautifully showcases the life of a woman who decides against motherhood versus the life of an ailing mother who keeps giving birth without the guts to say no. Such a powerful message without a dramatic power play can't be presented so elegantly. Congratulations to the entire movie crew for this movie, and thank you for the message it sent out. Today, we are going to talk to the person who conceived the story and evolved the features of the movie. We have with us Sara's movie scriptwriter Akshay Harish. Akshay is also a doctor who is pursuing his master's in community medicine. So, welcome, Akshay.
Right. Thank you. Thank you for such a detailed intro, and was so happy to hear such beautiful words regarding our work. Actually, the credit behind the whole thing being so appealing and so sweet, and so just like you have put like a chocolate. The credit goes to the director and the team, the cameraman, the artwork, and mainly the because it was very difficult to conceive this topic in such a pleasant way. So, but the idea right from the beginning was to conceive it like a normal family entertainer.
Right.
So it was a big effort by the entire crew, and
So,
happy
how
that
are
it paid
you,
off.
and how is the response for the movie from your point
Yeah,
of
the
view?
response was I did not expect such a huge response because I thought the title character of Sara, she's not someone who the entire society might accept that easily. I was
Right.
sure about the backlash
Huh? Okay.
because Sara is not the typical, the so-called
Correct.
good girl or the so-called the heroine or the hero attributes are not put
Mhm.
on Sara
Correct.
because
Correct.
there are many things or many details regarding her life which is usually frowned upon by the public or the what this first and second line of relatives you said.
Yes.
These people make the large audience, we know that. But to my shock, the initial responses which we got were so much of positive responses.
Wow.
And what shook me was I thought that the movie was related or could only be related by a younger age group of couples or maybe even females of coming around the age of from 18 to some close to 25, 30, who might relate to some might relate to Sara, some might have seen Sara or just like that. But the response I got was a large number of mothers who in the age of their 30s and 40s, even my mother's colleagues and people whom I don't know have messaged and called up and shared their experience with me, just like that, saying that they saw themselves in 2 hours on screen, or they saw what they couldn't say out to their relatives or their parents or their husband. They have sacrificed so much for the sake of family. So it was so satisfying for them to watch that somebody has spoken about it finally. So it was such a humbling experience to receive all that applauses right from the day it was released on Amazon Prime, and it has not stopped because the movie was released roughly 1.5 month
Yes.
back, and you messaged me last week. So I thought that okay, the movie is still reaching because that's the beauty of such a platform. The movie can travel anywhere, anytime, and it's
Yes.
still there until and unless the platform is there.
It's very much the what you told just now, because it is very relatable. It is something that everybody would have undergone at that point of time. And I have two questions with already I have these questions, and from what you said as well. You know that this movie can trigger controversy since the movie gives out a social message. It's subject to controversy. What are some of the negative comments related to the story concept you got, and how are you handling it?
Because the initial days we were getting criticisms which were based on the merits of the movie. The cinema, as a cinema, it was being criticized for, yeah, the genuine mistakes the movie might have, the genuine constraints we had because of the COVID lockdown, because they knew that there were not much of a crowd, the metros were empty. Such like people pointed out the genuine mistakes. But the next week onwards, what happened was it was just too great of people. Those who accepted Sara, those who hated Sara. It was a wild realization because I knew that people won't accept an abortion in the end, or they won't accept a hero in or hero or the central character who is undergoing an abortion. But I did not accept such a huge backlash because many comments were like it was as if a real person in their life have committed an abortion. They were reacting like Sarah should not have married, Sarah should not have done abortion. So that was a shocking realization to me. If a virtual character called Sarah is
Yes.
getting such a big objection regarding an abortion, what might be the plight of a woman who actually thought of doing or who had to undergo such a thing in real life? So I was feeling again more privileged to be a man in this world.
Okay. But then, as a man, how did you conceive this female oriented story? I was very curious about that. How did you even come upon this concept?
Actually, it was I met Jude sir by that online post.
What was the
mailed
one
him
line that
a
you shared him?
I have shared him a one line, but it's regarding another movie, another story. It
Okay,
was a different
okay,
story.
okay.
So he loved that, and he replied back saying that it sounds interesting. Have you completed the script and all? So that was a big shock for
Okay, for
me.
those who are
Me, who's
watching,
totally
Akshay got to write the script through a contest posted by the director Jude Anthony. And tell us about that concept, Akshay, about the contest. It was just the requirement was to post a one line, is it?
Yeah, it was during the first lockdown when everybody was not aware what should we do with all the time we had.
Okay,
So
okay.
Jude sir posted in Facebook, saying if you are having any, I'm getting bored with my life, staying idle at home. So if you are having any ideas, those who haven't had the chance to express their ideas, those who are from different walks of life, if they are having any ideas, you can mail it to me. And he made up a funny email ID like just Boradi Mata and June and all. And it was that post which I saw,
And what
and
was the
I
one
mailed
line
him.
you sent him?
That was another story, so
So
that
that is
might
also in
come
the
as a
making.
movie.
Okay, okay, okay.
No, not now, but later. I
Okay.
don't know. I don't want to reveal
Sure,
that one.
let it come out well
Okay,
also.
so it was a small paragraph, just a synopsis of
Okay,
the
okay,
movie. I sent him.
okay,
Then I got a reply after 1 week saying that he loved the one line. So
okay,
if you have completed the script. So it was actually a big shock for me. Means me who I have done my short films and all, but I'm a total outsider to the movie industry. So when a director who has made successful films likes my one line, I thought, oh, there is something in that. It was such a big motivation for me.
but
So
then how did you
I
come up
just
with a female oriented story? I'm still curious.
I'm coming to that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I met him through this. So I completed that script first, and I sent him that script in after 1 or 2 months. So he liked that script, but that was out of constraints of this COVID times. We could
Okay,
not shoot such a movie in this
okay,
times of COVID. So he asked me about. So he again said we will be doing that one. So happy we have met and all. Just casual talks, and then I thought, okay, that's it. I was given so much of hopes, and I just it just petered out. I thought. Then again, 2 weeks later, he called me up and asked, "Are you having any other smaller ideas which we can deal with between two something like in personal relationships and something like that? Can we do it in this within the constraints of a lockdown?" At that time, the Malayalam industry was starting to open up. Lockdowns were like towards the end and shooting. So he told me how to do it. Does I have do I have any other idea? So then I thought about different plots. My only aim was to find a plot which suits him or something like that. So at that time, I was reading a book known as Samudrashila,
Yeah.
written by Subhash Chandran sir. So that movie was in the first part of the movie is about a mother who is struggling like anything to take care of her son in teenage, who is in teenage, is suffering from, if I'm not sure, correct me if I'm wrong, it's something like a cerebral palsy or something like that.
Okay.
Something of a neurodegenerative disorder. He's
Okay.
struggling from that, and her mother is had an accident, and she is also bedridden. So this lady, she wakes up every morning. She takes her son to the bathroom, washes him up, gives him food, then goes to her mother, checks on her, take her to the toilet, wash her up, then give her food. And literally by that time, she need to feed her son the lunchtime. So this book was such a, what you can say, such a boring life or tragedy was there. Her life was, because it is explained that she is not even having time to sit idly and think. She doesn't even have the strength to go to a bed and sleep. She's sleeping on her table like that. It is the huge struggles of a mother. So that's when I had a realization that the mothers around us are in fact living a similar life on varying grades. They may not have a deceased son or deceased mother, but at least one of them might be there in their home. And they may have to look after their jobs. They might have to look after the husband. They might have to look after the family. They have to look after the kids. And even I thought, even my mother, because she was educated, she's a teacher. She has settled down to a life within 1 kilometer near to her home. So I thought maybe it was a sacrifice. I don't know. So many thoughts came across my mind, and that's when I thought, what if my hero or my heroine, the central character, doesn't want to sacrifice her happiness for the sake of carrying out a responsibility. I'm not saying that the other one is a bad thing or anything like that, but not all can have that huge. They may not be able to pull off that such a huge task. So that's when that spark came to my mind. If a lady, she's doesn't want to have a child because she is not, she thinks she's having other ideas with her life, so she's not capable of taking care of a child, or she's not interested in taking it because just it doesn't make her happy. So that's when that thought came in, and then I saw a scene in Om Shanti Oshan. I don't know if you have seen the movie. It was Jude Sir's first movie. I was just watching through it on Hotstar at that time. There's a scene in that movie when the heroine gets her hair clip gets grabbed by a kid. The kid is repeating it again and again and again. It's a small cute kid. But then suddenly the heroine is upset. She's already upset with something else. So when the kid repeats it for the fifth time, she gets angry and yeah, pidi, inna pidi, like she angrily blurts out at the kid. And that scene was a laugh that provided laugh in the
Okay.
theater.
Okay.
That was applauded by the crowd. And I thought, okay, if a heroine can get angry at a small kid, and that might create a love. So this is a very serious issue, what I was planning to make. So I might be able to conceive it in a more pleasant, more sugar-coated way, so that I can put forward my thing as well as make it entertaining, or maybe it
That's
can
a
be
brilliant
easily
way
seen as
of
a
taking
light-hearted
a
movie.
serious concept and butter coating it, jam coating it, and putting another bread. For those who are watching this, Sara did not bought a baby because her career was more important or something. It was her choice already. She was just not comfortable with it, and it does not degrade anybody who is already a mother. Different people have different preferences in life. So I'd like to clarify that.
Yeah, that was the big issue with some of the negative comments that were coming. Like she chose not to have a kid for a career. That's like
Correct.
insulting mothers who had both career and their children as well. But I think they didn't get the point of the movie when she
Yes.
clearly says that it's not because of cinema or anything like it. It's because it has been in her. Because it is like that. I have gone into some research regarding the topic. So it is not for everyone. The parenthood or motherhood, it is not there for everyone. So Why you need to what poke and hurt that person by creating? Oh no, why not? Why you don't? You might be happy when you have a kid. You might enjoy it when you have a kid. I personally am a person who love kids, but I was able to relate to such people. I have seen people. I have seen normal human beings who are happy with their friends, who love their parents, who are uncomfortable with kids, or who don't go all oh how cute. They don't go all cheesy on kids like that. I'm a person who, if a moment I see a kid, I go, oh, what a cute kid like that. But there are people who don't do that and they don't find anything special in a kid. So initially, that's like those people are also normal people with all other happiness. So we always see them as demons. So I thought maybe there was a different hero here, heroine here.
That's a very
So
spot
this idea,
on
I just
idea.
put forward to Jude sir. I called him up and I just explained the first scene of the movie. That was the first
Okay.
opening scene. That
Okay.
Sarah coming on to school and that how she finds out it for the first time. Maybe it was not the first time. Maybe how she buckled up the courage to open it up for the first time to her then boyfriend. That was the scene I tell, and that's I tell. So this is the opening scene, and this is our character. That's what I said. At that time, there was no cinema in that. Sarah was not an assistant director. Sarah was not into movies. There was nothing in the story at that time. Zara was just a confused teenager
Right.
who was realizing something in her life. So when I
Right.
thought this, I put this idea to Jutsa. He was saying that, oh, there is a thing in this. So you work on that, and that led to Sarah's.
That's a very brilliant way to look at it, and I'm very fascinated that as a man you're able to give so much empathy and thought into another woman's shoes, and that too not of the of a young woman, of somebody who's like you said, it resonates more with the age group of 30s and mothers who have crossed this phase. So it's really touching that you can think for so many people. And are you handling the negative comments? Are you responding to it? And what are you responding?
Initially, I just tried talking to some people who messaged me that they liked the movie and all. It was well made and all, but they could not what they could not accept the fact that the she aborted for her career or something like that. So I just initially I tried to correct them, but then yeah, maybe they should see the movie one more time. I mean, there were some messages were like, if she did not want kids, then they should have opted for contraception. I thought that such people they just hear from other people and just criticize the movie. They
Correct,
haven't
correct,
seen the movie, I think, because it's
correct.
clearly said that it's a contraception failure, and they are not anyone who is not aware about contraception. They talk about contraception even in the first time they spend a night together. So
Right.
they are not people who are unaware of it. So now I don't think personally they are not messaging us. It's beyond the post of the movie and all they comment, but I'm not a person who goes and explain it to them. No,
People
that's
who
their
get
opinion
it,
or choice.
they'll
They want to make it.
get it, and the story is subject to interpretation. So it is
Yeah.
how people take it. And this is a popular question that many have. Actually, we are a community of 12,000 married women. So this was a very popular question on the group. Do such doctors who counsel the couple that motherhood is a choice exist? Do people actually tell that?
Actually, I haven't seen. I have seen people on the other spectrum, but I think more and more as the society is getting better or accepting women's rights over her body, I think doctors are also a piece from the or cross section from the society. So all the bad things that is there in the society will also be there among doctors. So I have seen in my during my intern days, I have seen a gynecologist who blurted out at a couple. They were in their 30s. They had already two kids. They were coming from a relatively lower socioeconomic status, and they were the lady was pregnant again. Then she came to the OPD saying that she wanted to get an abortion because they cannot feed the third child or they cannot support such a third child at this phase of their life. Then this it was actually my information sent my way. It was experience of my senior. we all had some similar experience. So the doctor, she just blurted out that them like, I am not going to take part in such a crime. I'm not going to conspire for a murder and all. They just lashed it out them like, and they went back home in a failed attempt. That happened in a government medical college.
Okay.
So actually, some people say that this movie is going to make abortions such as an easy thing to do. This movie is going to increase the amount of abortion. Even till with 1971, the act came about. Now it is around close to 40-50 years. Then even now in India, around roughly large portion of the abortions are happening in an unscientific way. It is not because they don't want to do abortion, it's because they are not able to do it in a healthy
Legal.
or scientific or legal manner. It is legalized, but there is so much stigma attached to it that they are not able to do it even in a government hospital where everything else is done properly.
And this
So
message was carried out like so beautifully with just that one line. Better not to be a better not to be a parent than be a bad parent. I don't think this message could have so easily traveled without that line. So
I think
how did
we
you come
needed
up with that?
to convey it, but not being without being preachy. So we did not know how we needed that quote, but we don't want some person saying it out openly. So it was frequent discussion. The climax was subjected to frequent discussion with the director. It was so preachy and dramatic in the initial parts. The director changed it, chopped it, and we made several changes to the dialogue so that it appears natural, so that it appears like the doctor is a real person talking like that,
Right.
and wanted to it's always a trick commonly used by many people, that you put forward a very serious preachy dialogue and then in the end you just put it into a bit of a humor touch to it, so that the people will forget the preachy part and then will enjoy that thing. Because that's what the doctor says, like he's saying that message and saying it was not somebody great who has said it, it is just he himself have made up that message and all. So it happened like that.
But personally, I don't think it could have been told in a much better way. Because it's a very powerful statement. This statement has a lot of layers of truth behind it. Becoming a parent and then not taking care of the kid properly is a pain on both ends. Not just the parents but the child also. Both the sides and it still does not pull down mothers. Motherhood is awesome, but like you said, it might not be for everybody.
Yes. And it's just that we are saying, we are not saying that what others did is not so great, or what, even that argument with Ritama, it is beautifully shown by the
Yes.
director in such a way that we don't want to undermine Ritama. We are showing the pain Ritama suffers, plus the struggle Sara is what is happening to Sara. We don't want to portray Ritama as a villain or something like that, because such people do exist in our society and they are just victims of the conditioning that has happened around them. They are not the flag bearers of such a thought or something like that. They supposed to see such things around them. They supposed to think that, okay, this is the only way of happiness. So they were conditioned like that. So I believe that people who have been conditions are victims of such thing, then we cannot call them
Ritama
as
is
villains.
Sara's mother-in-law, right?
Yeah, mother-in-law,
So
mother-in-law.
that scene was I don't know. I'm feeling so touched and gratitude from the bottom of my heart, because it's a scene where if you want to have some drama, if you want some spice, it could easily trigger emotional drama where the daughter-in-law is portraying a devil, and she's the bad girl because she has put forth a fact straightforward. But then it was so easily traveled from that point where the mother-in-law knows that this is the fact, but she doesn't make the daughter-in-law feel small. Everybody understands at that point of time, and it's very predictable if the husband backlashes at her or something. But that scene was very efficiently carried and so well portrayed. Because even though we say that drama is different from real life and we are watching this just for entertainment, whatever we see on screen does have an impact on the viewers and how they think, the quality of their thoughts. The way this particular scene was painted was so what do I say? It was like giving back a hug to our emotions.
The performance of both actors, Ritama was played by Mallika Sukumaran. She's the mother of actor Prithviraj and Indrajit. And
Okay,
Anna's
great.
performance, and then it was such because they played that scene. It could have easily become a soap opera or something like that. That
Correct.
scene could have easily
Correct.
translated in such a way, but it was controlled. It was when I wrote, I had in my mind that when Sarah's character will be shouting at her mother-in-law, but when I saw the scene, once it was conceived and taken and all, I saw that Anna was not shouting over her voice, but Anna was just desperately conveying a point, and that I think that made that scene more beautiful. So
True.
that's the magic of cinema. I think I have experienced in this this is just my
Kudos to
first
the
film. I have had
entire
an experience
crew
to
for this easy
see. Yeah,
transition.
I had such an experience because I have visualized it in another way, but the movie, the actors, the contribution, the director's contribution, how the art has helped in the camera, helped in all that, and it came out something way, way, way better than what I have visualized. So I'll have to thank the entire crew for that.
And the thanks from our ends, from the viewers and from women's end to the entire crew for making this movie. Seriously. Um, one more question with what you said as well. Do you think our society is opening up to discuss such sensitive topics openly, or where do you mark we stand in speaking openly, or humans expressing their preferences strongly? Because like
Mm.
Sara, there are millions of people who might not prefer to be a mother, but even putting that forth is a very sticky situation. I don't know if
Yeah,
people will even express that.
yeah. Now maybe I don't think the movie is going to bring a drastic change and all, but movies do make changes in society, and societies do reflect changes in movies.
Correct.
So if say 10 years back, a scene in which if you are insulting a woman or the character is shown as a heroic character, you might get claps from audience. Even now, you might get clap from audience, but the intensity of the clap has decreased. You might get more backlash than
Because of the
compliments.
awareness
So
that it spreads.
yeah, so the creators in the industry or in any form of art are, because they are creating it for the audience, so they are reciprocating from the what they get from
Correct.
society. So it is a give and take. So I don't know who will change who, because maybe society will change cinema, cinema might change society. It's a give and take policy. So
Correct.
I maybe it might Saras for at least some, if even though they cannot open up. If they once they open up, it won't be that such a big shock for some person who has seen Saras. Before that, maybe
True,
it would
true.
have been such difficult for somebody to convince that no, I don't enjoy this. How can you not enjoy? That might be the first question. So, but even though I thought that Sarah could be related to maybe 10% of the women in our society, I thought that that was my mistake, I think. But then when I got the reviews and responses and got personal messages and calls, they were saying that no, 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 around 50% of the women do relate to Sarah in some way or the other. It's not that entirely they are Sarah. I'm not saying that, but so even the creator of Sara, even though when even the creators of Sara were confused on that, because we thought that maybe only a few women will relate to Sara, so we cannot blame the society for not opening up soon. So it might take time. Hopefully, we can do it faster so that this world should be there equally for both men and women. So I don't think one should be over the other or other like that. So it should they should we should exist peacefully live, right? We live and let live. That we should strive towards that motto in some time, maybe. Whatever be the choice, until and unless it is a crime or does not harm another living being or anything like that, we should be open to people's choices in whatever the field is, be it sexual orientation, be it thoughts about marriages or whatever it is.
So beautifully said. Like everything was that was so buried inside the hearts of people who can't express this movie, and what you said as well seems to be the voice of all those voiceless. And it's beyond any publicity or whatever we are doing for the movie or interviews that I'm doing. Uh, this is a social awareness message, and it is really picking up a lot of pace with related to empowerment. Because, like I said, I'm doing a campaign from our group. Saying motherhood is a choice, and we are doing a lot of videos and pictures related to it, and this movie was one of the key inspirations for that.
So,
um,
so happy to hear.
I've been not just this movie. I've been seeing all around where women who are insulted for not being mothers, because
Yeah.
motherhood is a choice, and we can't brush aside other facts that why women do not have children. One set of society do not prefer having children, whereas the other set are suffering from infertility, and infertility is real. But that does not define the worth of a woman. So the first
Yeah.
ever picture quote that I had come up with was, "I'm worth more than my reproductive system." So it's a collective effort where the awareness messages from such movies, and first identifying there's something like this, and giving a face and voice to it. And I'm so happy that writers like you and movie makers are coming up with much more sensible concepts than just commercial belly dances and something that is quick bucks. So, from on behalf of all the women who understood the movie rather than enjoyed the movie, understood the movie, a huge thank you to you. Then appreciation, it's a huge thank you to you for making this movie.
Thank you.
And are you working on your next script? And what kind of stories can we expect from you further on? Because you've given us
A person who loves
habits.
all type of movies. I just love to watch all sorts of movies, be it an entertainer movie or maybe a subtle realistic movie or a maybe drama or movie. I love watching. I love comedy movies. Watching. So I just wanted to have a career, even though if I'm not doing a large number of movies, I just wanted something like I should not have a signature. That is my
Okay.
aim, I think. Because
But
one movie did not resonate another movie. I
right.
think nobody should know this movie is from that person. If I'm successful in that, I think I might have had a good career. So it's a huge
Having
task to
different
do that.
genres is a very good thing, but please make movies that paint these human emotions and things
Yeah,
that are not easily spoken about, because
yeah,
movies like these give a voice to the voiceless, like I already said.
yeah. I don't know if another Sara might happen again, but it happens only that we are not planning to create we need to talk something which is not talked in society, or we are going to create a movement. It happened like that. We thought of saying this because it should have been said long back, but it is not yet said. So we
Absolutely.
thought that we need to say it right now. So it's said, and it exploded like anything. It started a conversation. Sarah was a huge conversation starter. But in this topic, there is still a lot to debate, and or a lot to be explored. A lot more movies which might not need the sugar coating that Sarah's had to reach to a larger audience in the future. So that's when we can happily say that there is an independence, or what can creative independence happening here. so that we can put forward our ideas without needing to please the masses or anything like that, so that the content will reach the other people. So I just go behind what, if any ideas come to my mind, if I just talk to the close ones in my circle. So if I get the response like, yeah, it's interesting, you write, or that's when I engage into a subject or into a topic. So I'm not that experienced to explain a writing process or anything like that. At the moment, I am working with my friend for another subject. So it will be, I hopefully think it is a different movie to Sarah's on all dimensions. So I just want to keep writing and keep making movies that
What about
I
your
love to watch.
medicine?
It's going by the side. I'm doing my post graduation in community medicine. I have completed my first year, and then that's going by the side.
You're
The
able to
works
balance
and all are
both
going by the side.
work and
Yeah,
okay, awesome. And both professions, as a writer, you are a creator, and as a doctor, you are a savior. So you are like doing something as a representative of God. Wish you all the very best in all your endeavors in writing and medicine, and may you make a lot of positive impact on people. Thank you so much for being here.
thank you. Thank you. It was nice talking to you. Keep doing the things that you and your organization has been doing. It's so wonderful to hear that you are having such a huge number of uh, people to work and spread such awareness, and happy to have made a small impact to that group. So
Thank
happy
you for
talking
contributing
to you.
to this section of the society. And like you said, independence is where everybody is happy, everybody is free to
Yeah.
express. So together we can do a lot more. So thank you again.
So just like what Sarah said, respect the choice of everyone, even if it is offending to you. It's that person's choice. Until and unless it is a crime in this country, you can happily live with that, right?
True.
Okay
And
then.
this message needs a lot of explanation if somebody is going to take it in offense. But even if you accept it or not, everybody's choice matters, and motherhood
Yeah.
is a choice.
Thank you.
Thank you.